Bill Gates has announced he's resigning
for big changes at Microsoft as the big man Steve Ballmer announced he will be resigning in the next 12 months.
This company's had 3 CEOs. They're all right here.
I think about our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more.
Hello, MBA Master School viewers. Today, we are going to dive into the incredible story of Satya Nadella, the current CEO of Microsoft, and how he turned the fortunes of this tech giant around after a decade of stagnation under his predecessor, Steve Ballmer. But before we get into the sneak peek of Nadella's tenure, let's take a quick trip down memory lane and revisit Microsoft's humble beginnings. Microsoft was founded by none other than the tech visionary, Bill Gates, and his partner, Paul Allen, way back in 1975. They started by making software for the fledgling PC industry, and soon became the de facto standard for operating systems, word processing, and spreadsheets. Fast forward to the year 2000, and Microsoft had become a corporate giant, but it was also in hot water. The company had been embroiled in a high-profile antitrust suit and was found guilty, resulting in Bill Gates having to step aside from his leadership role. This left a void at the top, and Steve Ballmer stepped in as CEO. However, things didn't go as planned. Under Ballmer's leadership, Microsoft's innovation engine sputtered, and the company seemed to be resting on its laurels, relying on its licensing monopoly to rake in profits. Critics were quick to label Microsoft as a non-innovative company, stuck in the past, and unable to keep up with the fast-paced tech landscape. But all was not lost. Enter Satya Nadella, a soft-spoken engineer with a big vision and an even bigger heart. Nadella took the reins as CEO in 2014, and he wasted no time in shaking things up at Microsoft. He set out to transform the company from a sluggish behemoth into a nimble innovator, ready to take on the challenges of the modern world. So, let's dive in and explore how Satya Nadella's leadership style, vision, and strategic decisions turned Microsoft's fortunes around and put it back on the path to success. Let's take a closer look at the infamous Ballmer Effect and how it impacted one of the world's largest and most influential tech companies, Microsoft. Steve Ballmer, a business-savvy executive, was brought on board by Microsoft founder Bill Gates in 1980. However, while Ballmer had a deep understanding of the company's operations, his lack of technical expertise would ultimately prove to be a major stumbling block for Microsoft. When Ballmer became CEO in 2000, Gates still maintained control over the company's tech vision until 2006. During this time, Microsoft weathered the dot-com burst and emerged relatively unscathed. However, when Gates stepped back from the day-to-day operations of the company to focus on his philanthropic efforts, Ballmer was left to run the show alone. This is where the problems started to emerge. Ballmer's hiring practices began to shift, bringing in executives from other companies, such as Walmart, to fill key management roles. Unfortunately, many of these new hires lacked the necessary technical expertise to keep up with the rapidly changing tech landscape. As the internet and mobile devices became increasingly popular in the early 2000s, Microsoft failed to keep pace with its competitors, particularly Apple and Google.
Steve, let me ask you about the iPhone and the Zune, if I may. Steve Jobs goes to Macworld and he pulls out this iPhone. What was your first reaction when you saw that?
Ballmer's dismissive attitude toward the iPhone, famously laughing off the notion that people would pay $500 for a phone, proved to be a costly mistake. Meanwhile, Microsoft's once dominant Internet Explorer web browser saw its market share plummet from 95% to just 16% under Ballmer's watch. Perhaps the biggest blunder of Ballmer's tenure was Microsoft's failure to develop an easy-to-use mobile operating system, a mistake that former CEO Bill Gates himself estimated cost the company a staggering $500 billion. Despite Microsoft's impressive revenue growth and profit margins under Ballmer, the company's stock price remained same for nearly a decade. Investors became increasingly vocal in their calls for Ballmer's resignation, and when he finally stepped down in 2014, Microsoft's stock price shot up 7%. Now, the question remains, who will lead Microsoft into the future? Only time will tell if the company can recover from the damage inflicted by the Ballmer effect and continue to be a dominant force in the tech industry. Picture this: the tech world was stunned when Satya Nadella, a man from Hyderabad, India, took over the reins of the world's biggest PC software maker, Microsoft. There were a number of doubt, skeptics questioning whether he was the right person for the job. But boy, did he prove them all wrong. When Satya took over, Microsoft was struggling with an image problem. It was seen as rigid, non-competitive, and closed off from the rest of the tech industry. But with a few strategic moves, Satya turned that all around. He started making acquisitions like LinkedIn, GitHub, Minecraft, and Nuance Communication, each designed to increase customer retention rates. But that was just the beginning. Satya understood that Microsoft's profit model was too reliant on licensing fees for PC software, so he diversified the company's business into gaming, AI, cloud services, and subscription-based Office products. And it worked. Microsoft is now a $2 trillion company, with revenue touching $194 billion in 2022, and profits of around $68 billion. And the future looks even brighter. Microsoft has invested over $10 billion in OpenAI, the company that owns the groundbreaking AI chatbot, ChatGPT. With this investment, Microsoft is poised to take on Google in the AI race, and their social and professional media app, LinkedIn, has no competition in that space. All in all, Microsoft's business is soaring, with their gaming division dominating the PC operating system market, and their cloud services and subscription-based Office products leading the way in the tech industry. So, watch out, Google. Satya Nadella and Microsoft are ready for the next big challenge. The stakes are high. The winner of this AI war will have control over the next decade and beyond. Who will it be? Will it be Microsoft, with its innovative products like Azure, Teams, and Office, its global domination over the PC operating systems market, and its popular gaming business? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the world will be forever changed by the company that emerges victorious. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also interested in the world of business. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with our latest videos, where we share fascinating stories of visionary leaders and successful companies. Let us know which business stories you're itching to learn about next, and we'll make sure to cover them in our upcoming videos. Thank you for tuning in to MBA Master School, where we aim to educate and inspire the next generation of business leaders.